Hello and welcome to this edition of You Can Get There From Here. I'm Dr. Joe Moore, Chair of the Department of Communication and Digital Media Production at the University of Central Missouri, and it's my pleasure every week to get to bring to you some of our graduates. We talk to some who graduated in digital media production, others who got their degree in communication studies, and some who got their master's degree in communication. Today, we are visiting with Ty Lee. Ty is a graduate of our digital media production program and is what I would call a media entrepreneur. Ty, great to have you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So happy to see you. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on here. I've been wanting to get you on. We tried a little bit last year and just schedules didn't work out. So I'm glad we finally get to get you on here. You're the first one in our new studio and our new setup. So great to have you as a part of that. Let's get started with your background.
Okay.
Where do you call home and what led you to UCM?
I call home Los Angeles, California. I was born and raised there. I ended up going to UCM my sophomore year of college. Why? Because I ended up transferring from another university, which was an HBCU, and I transferred because my friend at the time told me about UCM because his little sister was going to go there, and they were telling me about all the great things about it. So I was like, well, let me apply, let me go. And I went on a whim. I visited the campus with my grandma and fell in love within that moment. And I've been a mule ever since.
Well, we're so glad you are. We're so glad you had that friend that was coming here. What HBCU did you go to?
I went to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So I did 2 years there and then 2 years at the
That's right. I remembered you were from came to school out in this area from LA, but I couldn't remember where it was. And your granny lives in Kansas, is that right?
Yes, she lives in Overland Park.
Okay. So just a hop, skip, and a jump away from here. So,
Yep,
well, remind me to thank that friend of yours that brought you over here to
I
you. So
will.
glad. Obviously, you did all the coursework to get the degree in digital media production. What else were you involved in that helped build your skills and helps you get where you are today?
I was heavily involved in Spotlight, which I feel like it got me prepared because it was allowing me to network and, just stand out and time management and adaptability and having that confidence to get the campus involved in different activities that we were putting together. So that production mindset, I would say, definitely helped me prepare for it.
So you did all the production work, the hands-on experience, but it was
Mhm.
more the big picture that you got really into recognizing, okay, we're going to have this piece of equipment, we're going to have this person, and we're going to have it set up this way, right?
Yep, and reaching out to the different people that we would invite to the campus, whether it was a magician or a comedian. So it was a lot of fun doing that. I love being hands-on with stuff like that.
And I love that because we talk so much about, the digital media production, the actual making of the shows.
Mhm.
But that isn't for everybody. The technical aspect of filming it and editing and recording and all of that, that isn't for everybody. But
Mhm.
some like you, they want to have that bigger picture. They want to see the broader picture, but
Mhm.
you still need to know the technical side so you know what can be done and what can't and what whoever you bring in is going to need, right?
Absolutely. That was my favorite thing about digital media production because it was hands-on and it allowed you to experience each avenue of it all. Like you weren't just in front of the camera, you were also behind the camera. And I enjoyed the editing process. I loved the creative process of it all because it was allowing you to see the technical side of it all, as well as, smiling and reading the prompter, which I loved. I loved that so much. But it just allowed me to, it encouraged me to pursue the storytelling in a traditional and non-traditional way of production. And, I loved it.
Excellent. So what are some of your fondest memories of your time here at UCM?
My fondest memories, honestly, is just being a kid. I don't know if that's like cliche to say, but genuinely, I just miss being a kid. No responsibilities and just enjoying the simpler things, going to the gym when I wanted to, going to the little parties if I wanted to, and just the dorm life. Like I just enjoy the simplicity of it all because, now that I'm an adult, like, and I'm a mother, things are just full-fledged go, go, go. It's like, oh man. So yeah.
Yeah, when you get the degree and then the next step is be a grown up.
Yep.
But that's what we're aiming for. That's the natural progression. That's where we want you to be. And speaking
Exactly.
where we want you to be, you've gotten to do some really cool stuff. You've done some work in radio. You were the executive producer on a pretty big show. You're doing some PR and marketing now. Tell us what you've been doing. Kind of take us on your journey since you graduated.
Alrighty. So in a nutshell, I call myself a storyteller, a publicist. I am a founder of an online publication called The Headline, and it's a media platform that I started to highlight culture, community, real stories, and ultimately, I wanted to highlight the unsung heroes of the community, which is something that I'm super passionate about. And like you mentioned, I've worked across like TV and digital content and live events, working in production as well. But one of the things that I've meant, like you mentioned, was the Jennifer Hudson show. I worked there for 3 seasons. So from the very, very beginning when no one even knew what the Jennifer Hudson show was, all the way to now. And I'm just passionate about building meaningful connections and through media and carving out a space for voices that deserve to be seen and heard. So my time, the life I've lived, I didn't expect it, honestly. Like I've always dreamt of, being in entertainment and within the industry, but what got me to this point is honestly believing in myself and taking a chance on myself. And I'm just so grateful for that because the headline was something that I started in 2016, like I mentioned. And because of the work that I put into that, I was able to put that on my resume and show the work that I've done, which allowed me to go forward into other avenues. So I'm grateful.
And see, I love that. I love that you view yourself, you're a storyteller. You want to tell people stories, and especially those, doing the nonprofit work and things like that. There was another guest that I asked to be on the show, and she said, I really haven't done anything. I'm working in nonprofit. And I'm thinking, that's something. That's
That is definitely
huge.
something. Yes, absolutely. It's a big deal, especially with this one. It's called Be Greater Than. It's a nonprofit that focuses on wellness and creatives and also just the community, which is something that I love. I love community. So we put together different events for the community, whether it's yoga or game nights and things of that nature. So, and we also partner with a lot of like different brands and different what we call influencers that would come to said events, which is really cool. So yeah, I love it.
That's great. So, how did your degree help you get there?
Oh, how didn't it help me get there? Honestly, like
I
touched
like that
on
answer. I
like
like
how
that
did
answer.
it? Because of digital media production, like I mentioned, it really allowed me to see the overall scope of everything. It allowed me to be hands-on in every single thing possible. So, like the creative, the production, the digital storytelling, being able to write an AP style. And, that's something that's super important, especially with blogging or being a writer. Also, the editing aspect, super important. When I was also working at NBC Universal for about 3, 4 years, I had to know how to edit and doing a process called the dam and knowing how to put the videos and compile them and things of that nature. So UCM has really taught me a lot, and digital media production has taught me a lot. Like I tell people all the time, like I didn't just focus on journalism. I didn't just focus on broadcast journalism. I focused on all of it. It's an overall scope. It's a huge umbrella that I was able to be under.
Now, that's the goal, is to give you some training in all of those different areas.
hmm
The university's new slogan, talking about all the things that you've done and how you were able to take your degree to go in all these different areas. But the university's new slogan is redefining what's possible. What does that mean to you?
Redefining what's possible is, understanding that your journey will not be linear. I feel like, people think that you have to do things a certain way to get to a certain goal, and that's not true. Redefining what's possible is one, believing in yourself, and then two, taking that plunge and just making sure that you have all the things that you've learned in the past, the experience and the knowledge and knowing that's going to take you there. Whether you did the ABC route, you can do A, D, G, and skip it, and then all the way you'll get all the letters in the alphabet. So that's to me what redefining was possible.
I like that. I'm going to use that. You're going to use all the letters in the alphabet to get there. That's good. That's great.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show today. I do have two final questions for you. They're one question, but kind of two parts. You've been out there, you've done it, you've experienced it. what is a piece of advice that you would give to a current UCM student studying communication and digital media production? And then
Okay.
what's a piece of advice that you would give to a student thinking about coming to UCM to study in the communication and digital media production program?
So for the current students, I would say start building your portfolio now, even if it's small or self-made. The things that you are working on in class, be sure to put that in your portfolio. Show your potential employers what you've been working on because they genuinely look at that. They are interested to see what you have been working on. Um, don't be afraid to pivot if you're, like I mentioned, your journey may not be linear. So, be sure to bet on yourself. And then I would say be sure to network with your peers and your professors because those connections really matter. You never know who's going to be who one day, and you never know how it's like, an olive branch you can extend to someone else. So, yes. And
Yeah,
then for,
we have a great, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have a great network of
mhm,
graduates who are doing some
yeah.
pretty big stuff.
Mhm.
Case in
Yeah.
point,
And I've
and
attended UCM events, like alumni
yeah,
events, and I love it. It's amazing.
yeah. And we tell students all the time, look, you've got this network. They graduated from here. They want to help you get there. So reach out to them. So
Yes.
yeah, I'll be sharing your information.
Please do. I love helping people.
Excellent. Now, what
Then
about that potential student?
yeah, for the potential student, say yes. Say yes to the opportunities that may scare you a little bit because that's where growth happens. Like for example, I'm all the way from California and then went all the way to school in Missouri, and the only person that I knew was my grandma who lives in Kansas in a whole other state, but still close by. So don't be afraid to just do something out of your norm. And I feel like going to a school out of state was out of my norm, but I'm grateful for it because it allowed me to meet such amazing people, people that I'm still friends with till this day. Literally visited a college friend like last week and spent time with her. So I'm just grateful for it, and I know that you will be too. So just go, just do it.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Well, Ty, thanks for being here. Keep telling those stories. We are so proud of you. You're just doing some great stuff, and we're happy to have been a part of that journey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And thanks all of you for being here today. Remember, you can catch every episode on our YouTube channel through the UCM Media Network. That's youtube.com/UCMMN. You can also listen on Spotify. Special thanks to Jake Mager for creating our theme music. This is Dr. Joe Moore reminding you, you can get there from here. Have a great day.